How are we doing, everyone? How are we doing, everyone? Okay, awesome. So I am Vince, aka Zoser. I am the LiveOps lead for Axie Infinity, and I'm here to talk to you guys today about sort of a new feature coming. But before we get to the new feature, let's talk about a little bit about kind of what live operations is, because we hear that term a lot, and I kind of want to make sure to define it and outline it before we get to the new feature. So live operations at a core level is to enable the game to always feel fresh and exciting for players every single day. Okay, so if we look at the origin core loop right now, you have your 3 axes, and you pretty much you log in, you play with those 3 axes, you battle, you get some rune shards, you craft, and you kind of rinse and repeat over and over and over. And you might just use your same 3 axes over and over, and that's fine. What LiveOps is going to come in and do is kind of enhance that cycle. So it's going to say, hey, maybe there's going to be other things going on, such as some events you want to participate in. So instead of just doing the same core loop, we're now going to add events, right? So what is an event? Basically, an event is a way to have additional gameplay and fun challenges for more rewards. And everyone loves more rewards, of course. So let's pretend you're a player that uses like a triple aqua build. Well, we might have an event that says, hey, every time you use a beast, we're going to give you bonus rewards. So now, even as an aqua player, you're incentivized to basically use a beast because that's more rewards for you. So you're going outside of your normal loop. Let's say you're a player in Origin that only battles, let's say, 9 to 10 times a day. And that's just sort of what you do. Well, if we launch an event that says, hey, if you do 25 battles today, you get bonus rewards, now you've changed your normal behavior through that event. And now you're going to want to play 25 battles that day. Or let's say we launch a limited time special adventure. So a new adventure opens up, and it's like, hey, there's these new bosses that you're playing against in solo. And if you use reptiles, for example, you deal double damage. Well, now you're going to want to pick up some reptiles so you can blow through that event. And so that's sort of how events work at the core. And they're really going to mix up the game and definitely add more rewards and stuff. So why are live operations important? So the first thing is they're going to provide novel challenges. So human beings tend to get bored doing the same thing over and over. So it's fun to constantly have new challenges going on and new competition, of course. Speaking of, so competition. Obviously, the seasonal leaderboard is a huge reason to play Origin. It provides a ton of competition. But imagine if we had mini events along the way. So we have a weekend event, or we have a week-long event. Now you've got a different competition going on while you're still focusing on the whole 60-day competition, of course. And then, of course, the main goal is to make this as fun as possible. We just want Origin to be absolutely fun. We want the events to be fun. We want the season to be fun. So we really want to enhance this. So now what I want to do is look at some successful live ops in Web 2 to kind of spell out and get you more familiar with live ops in some of the games you may have played. I don't anticipate that live ops will be so much different between Web 2 and Web 3 because they're really both trying to do the same thing. They're just trying to enhance your behavior. They're trying to give you rewards. They're trying to make the game more fun. So we're going to look at Battle Pass from Brawl Stars. We're going to look at coin events from Summoner's War. And we're going to look at event campaigns from Epic 7. So let's start with Battle Pass from Brawl Stars. Some of you might be familiar with Battle Pass. For those that aren't, you basically earn rewards for playing the game more often. So throughout the course of a season, you'll just be progressing up this Battle Pass and just claiming free rewards as you play the game more. What makes Battle Pass interesting in these free-to-play games is they always have a paid tier. And if you pay to unlock this tier, now you get double the rewards because you get essentially everything on top and everything on bottom. So the two sort of connect in the sense that as you play more, you're incentivized to spend money because the farther you progress, you get to backclaim all those rewards that you've been working past. And at the same time, by paying, you also want to play more because then every new tier you hit, you get double the rewards. So this has been really successful in Web 2 games. Another one is Summoner's War. They launch coin events all the time. What this basically does is says, hey, come use a whole bunch of energy. And sometimes in Web 2 games, you can hoard energy. It's a little different than Axie. And so this is trying to get people to use all their energy and play as much as possible. And by doing so, they give them coins. And then with those coins, they're able to get more rewards. And so this gives players a really strong incentive to log in and play. It helps with some personal goals and then bonus rewards, of course. And then last, let's look at Epic 7. So this is an RPG game. I used to be super into RPGs. I played these games all the time. Final Fantasy was one of my favorites, so I'm very familiar with how this works. You'll see these all the time. This is basically a special, like a boss battle. They open these up, and you choose your difficulty. So you choose easy, normal, hard, or the hell mode, I guess, depending on how strong you are. And then what you'll do is you'll try to beat those levels as effectively or as quickly as possible, so the fewest turns possible, and then you'll earn rewards. And then one of the key components of this is that they'll always offer sort of a bonus character. So this one-armed samurai in this event probably deals like double damage in this whole event. So you'd want to pick him up in this game, and that way when you play this event, you're kind of like Rockstar because you're just demolishing these levels since he's doing double damage to everything. But you don't have to use him. You can challenge yourself. So these are kind of interesting, and obviously I'm very passionate about these types of things. So let's talk about Web 3 now and some opportunities we have that I think that Web 2 doesn't have. So the first thing that we can do is we can do in-game and on-chain things simultaneously. So in Web 2, they pretty much stick to the game. So you open the game and everything happens in the game. Well, we have this on-chain stuff we can do. So what that means for us is we can run an event whereby playing Origin and by breeding at the same time or the same event, it can be part of the same event. So an example would be we launch an event and we say, hey, if you breed an Axie or if you play Origin, you're going to contribute to this event. So you're doing on-chain and off-chain things. We can also do cross-functionality. So what I mean by this is, imagine a world where we launch an event and we say you can play land, or you can play Origin, or even one of our builders games, and all of these contribute to one giant event that it's kind of hosting on the whole universe. And then we can also do collaboration between players. Phil was talking about earlier how there's a lot more collaboration and stuff in Web 3 because we can buy, we can sell, we can trade, we have ownership. So we can utilize this for our events, and we can have events where we can actually encourage you guys to gift and sell and trade with one another as part of the event. And that's something that's super cool, I think, for Web 3, and we're excited to explore. OK, so we've got this far. Are you guys ready to see the new feature coming for Axie Origin? OK, let me take a sip of water. This is a big one. Okie dokie, folks. Contests. So contests are going to utilize off-chain and on-chain activities to inspire logging in more, burning resources, increasing competition, and most importantly, having fun. Okay? Contests encapsulate almost everything you've seen so far in this presentation. So contests are broken into three main parts. So there's completing the missions. There is, and that's to earn contest points. There is claiming the milestones, which are your personal goals. And then there's the leaderboards, which is the most contest points climb the leaderboards. So contests are interesting because in LiveOps, you can configure them however you want. These might be as short as a 24-hour contest, maybe a weekend contest, maybe a week-long contest. That's for each contest to decide, basically. It's going to be different for each one. So let's talk about the first core part of contests, which is completing missions. Okay, this is how you're going to earn contest points. Now, everything you see here is just an example. It's just a mock-up. Okay, so total example. In this one we're looking at, it says you can breed a plant Axie, and that'll give you 20 points in this example. You can release a plant Axie for 15 points, or you can win a battle with a plant in Origin for 2 points. Okay, so these are the way you'd earn points. And now, if you notice, some of these things can be done infinite times. So there'll be events where it says, hey, if you want to win a battle or breed an Axie, you can do this an unlimited amount of times. There's no point cap. And other things, there might be capped, where we might say, hey, you can only do this action 20 times per event before we cap it out. So we're going to have that flexibility to work with. Okay, so you guys are going to see a variety of ways to earn points in contests. So let's look at kind of some of the fun things we can do with contests. So these are just kind of some things we come up with. So Feather Frenzy would be like, let's just imagine together an event that's all about birds and feathers. And so let's say you have to use feather parts in Origin. Like every time you win a battle with Tri-Feather or Feather Fan, you get bonus points. And the rewards for that would be very bird-themed. So maybe you would have the chance to earn some runes from the birds or the bird epic charm, for example, things like that. Plant Stravaganza. This is a funny one, guys. I had a dream about this event before I even started at Origin. I pitched this to Jiho during my interview. I used the exact word plant stravaganza. It was just what came to my mind as the first thing we needed to see this. So you can definitely count on this being an event. I promise you that. And it's going to come to light. And so in this example, it would just be about you got to breed plants, you got to release plants, you got to win with plants, everything plant related for the week. And then everyone's just all in on plants, and you're going to see the meta change, of course, because hopefully people want to do well in the contest. And then from dusk to dawn is something I just kind of came up with for fun. We can do a lot of stuff with this. So imagine we launch 2 contests at the same time. One would be a dusk contest, one would be a dawn contest, and maybe they're competing against one another in some way, and maybe you decide which one you're going to play. There's just a lot of stuff we can do. And so yeah, it should be cool to see all the contests that can be created. So if the first core part of contests is to complete missions to earn contest point, the second part of contests is to unlock milestones and earn rewards, okay? So based on the amount of contest points you get, there's going to be certain milestones that you unlock. So these are personal goals you're going to have each event. These are completely unaffected by what other players are doing. These are your own personal goals. Okay, so in the example we're looking at here, you can see that there's a 50 contest point mark, 120, 250, 400, and looks like 600 or 800, one of the two. And by hitting those amount of contest points, you're going to unlock those milestones. So what are some milestone rewards you might expect to see? Well, moon shards definitely comes to mind. Moon dusts and ancient moonstones. Sealed runes and charms, very good thing to give out because those are the non-mintable, so it's very cool because that way you can have those for the season that you've earned. And then stickers and other in-game cosmetics as well. I think that's kind of where we're going to start as far as rewards go, but subject to change. So this is basically milestones, and actually let's look at this example really quick. So in this one, the players earned 156 contest points. Okay, so they've gotten past the second tier. So you can see they can claim the first milestone, which is 50 moon shards in this example. They can also claim the second milestone, which in this example is 500 moon shards and 50 SLP. So yeah, this player is working toward completing all the milestones. And these can be configured every event, meaning they can change. We can move them around. We might go to 10,000. It's how we set these things up is the key. So the final part of contest is claiming the contest leaderboard. This is where you're going to compete against other players to see who has the most amount of contest points by the end of the event. Okay? So most contests, but not necessarily all, will have leaderboards because in theory we could run a contest with just a bunch of personal milestones if we wanted. Okay? So the leaderboard, you should expect to find similar rewards as contests, but probably more of them because usually the leaderboard's more competitive, so it's more natural to find more of something. And you can see here in the example, our friend Jeff Cam, a.k.a. Shade, is at the top of the leaderboard. He has 831 points. There's 59 minutes remaining, and then he would claim those rewards. Again, it's just an example, so don't take too much into what the actual rewards are, but he would claim those rewards, assuming he finished first place, obviously, when that ticker hit 0. Cool, so it looks like I pretty much flew through this. I hope I didn't talk too quickly, but development is underway. We expect this to arrive in Q4 of 2022. I'm really excited, and honestly, I think we're going to need a lot of your guys' feedback because the cool thing about contests is because we configure these for each contest, I think you guys are going to have a big say in the kind of contests you want to see, what you guys want to change, and if you guys are like, hey, we really want a reptile contest, then we might just build one. So that's all I got, and thank you so much for listening, guys.